I think that's doing enough to keep up with inflation. We can probably see a lot of things in our purchasing power where prices have tripled since the early 2000s. Groceries cost a lot more, but owning gold over time, over enough time, has maintained your purchasing power from inflation, and at certain times has big catch-up moves. It doesn't go up perfectly in a diagonal line every year, but at times where there's uncertainty and people are buying gold and the market's buying gold, there are times where it has a big catch-up move. So 2011 was one of those, kind of from 2008 to 2011, and we're entering one now. When gold went above 2100 a couple months ago, that was a huge ceiling that it blew through, and now the sky's the limit. I mean, it can go $3, $4, $5,000 before leveling off and maybe setting a new normal for the next generation, maybe more than that. Its implied value is actually, compared to the money supply, is actually quite a bit higher. But even just it doubling in price from here, it's ready to run. It's got nothing holding it back as far as the trading on the price charts, and there's enough uncertainty and chaos in the world to drive the markets towards something real and something without counterparty risk at this point.
Yeah. The other question, piggybacking off of that, there's for a lot of for example, my parents' generation, grandparents, they're like always go to gold. They lived through wars and famine and all of that. But the newer generation, kind of the millennials, the younger Gen Xers, definitely Gen Z, they're looking at their gold and they're like, yeah, I can carry basically probably up to $10,000 worth of gold through an airport without getting caught. I'm sure you still get caught, but but I can, on a hard wallet, I can hold 10 million of Bitcoin and nobody would ever know. So, kind of talk about this idea where, especially Bitcoin, the other coins are kind of still early, but the price of Bitcoin versus the performance of gold and silver, compare that, as well as more portability and kind of generational preferences, all of that.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I think besides, any generational or cultural preferences,